For southern France and many other wine-growing regions on the Mediterranean, Garrigue is a wild fragrance that wafts through the vineyards, leaving a savory note in the wines. In the famed Châteauneuf-du-Pape region, no vineyards can be planted on land that will not grow lavender and thyme, both widely recognized as the markers of Garrigue. Last year we introduced a similar term used in the Okanagan language by the Osoyoos Indian Band elders, SÍN Iʔ TMXWULAXW, which translates to the sweet smell of the earth connected to the seasons. Winegrower Michael Bartier has zeroed in on two wild elements he believes combine to ensure that Okanagan wines can only be of this place on earth.
It's the flavor of the Okanagan. Well, it's very savory. To me, there are two aromas, two scents that really stand out. And that's ponderosa pine, and that's gray sage. And of course, you look on the hillsides around us, gray sage and ponderosa pine. And the moment that you step outside of your car, out of your house, wherever, you are going to smell, the ponderosa pine. You're going to smell the gray sage. And then later that evening, you're trying an Okanagan Valley wine, and you think, I smell ponderosa, I smell gray sage. And the reason being is that these plants, these trees, these bushes are exuding oils, and they're finding their way onto the fruit itself. And they go through the maceration process, they go through the fermentation process with the grapes. Of course, they're going to find their way into the wine as well. So that Garrigue, that sage, that ponderosa is part of Okanagan wine, without a doubt. To me, it almost plays a similar role to minerality, balancing off fruitiness. The Garrigue, that sage, that pine character that we find in our wines does not so much come through on the palate as a texture, but it brings almost a refreshing quality to the wine, just because of the flavor cutting the sweetness, the fatness of the fruit. I think the term balance very much applies there. When I talk about balance in wine, I'm almost always referring to something that's texture or mouthfeel. You can get a balancing, or maybe an intersecting, might be the correct term that I'm looking for, an intersecting of the Garrigue and the fruit character. Might be the intersecting of minerality and fruit character. And I think that the Garrigue character, that savory pine, savory gray sage, is so important to balancing out the fruit that can be almost a bit too pure. Something that's related but different is what I refer to as the conspiracy of variables, or all of these things that come together. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. There are so many other things that are contributing to what makes a South Okanagan wine, unique and rare and special. And part of that is going to be the Garrigue, part of that is going to be the geology, part of that is the fact that we're at 49 degrees latitude. At this northern latitude, during the month of June, our days are longer than 16 hours. That's a lot of ripening time. And then as soon as that sun goes down, it goes into this massive drop in temperature, 20, sometimes 30 degrees Celsius in the span of a few hours. And that kind of temperature swing means tremendous, acidity retainment. So number one, very ripe grapes and very crisp, refreshing acidity. Very difficult. This does not exist anywhere else in the world, anywhere.
As the years roll by, whatever the local term arrived at to describe the savory notes found in South Okanagan wine, it will have to be as unique as the people and the place it grows in.